Hello and good day, everyone. Welcome to Virtual Concert Hall's live music channel.
My name is Chris Al. This is my amazing co-host, Anna Ouspenskaya, and today we are really proud to present our show,
The unique virtual stage.
So today we're going to discuss the broadcasts we do, the kinds of technology we have on offer for our clients and performers of all ages and backgrounds all around the world, and as well as the incredible fun we have showcasing artists and musicians all around the world. This is like a really fun thing that we do, but it's a technology we use that is hopefully really helpful to musicians and artists.
Absolutely. So we are creating post-pandemic environment.
Yes.
People often ask what it is we do. Well, we are on a mission of connecting musicians and audiences in real time, musical performances, news, and events around the globe. So this season, we present in some detail what we have in store for everyone who is joining our programs as contestants, as judges, as presenters, collaborators, and many, many others. Our network is growing and is huge, and we're so pleased with that. We will have hundreds of people joining our program throughout the season. So, where are we now? Are we still in pandemic Zoom madness?
Well, some would say maybe, but no. I think the answer is no. We're moving back into a different kind of world, and we're definitely not in the pre-pandemic stage where we are. It's hard to imagine how unfamiliar we were with a webcam, with microphones, with a whole tech setup, and having a background, virtual backgrounds. All that seems so foreign. So where are we now then?
So we're done with the pandemic Zoom madness, as I call it. And are we back in pre-pandemic? I think we will never be there anymore. We've moved forward. So let's call this air for musicians, for performances, for stage, for interpretation, what stage is and how it can be used and all of that. Let's call it post-pandemic.
Absolutely. And I think what we're doing is we're making the best out of what the pandemic taught us about the advantages of virtual, as well as making things what we call a post-pandemic hybrid. And what that is, I think it's a brilliant thing that you've devised, Dr. Anna, which is
I didn't do it myself.
You didn't do it yourself,
me.
but
I'm
the
not
genesis and the seeds of this brilliant idea came definitely from you. And what I love about it is it's a way to for musicians to incorporate the online world and also perform and have opportunities in person. And this is amazing. This is really cool.
How does that blend together? And how do we take all those new tools which we learned, which were there, but they've developed huge amount forward during the pandemic?
For sure.
So what do we do with all of this? Once we learned, that's what matters most. Can we actually make them work for us? For ourselves and for our audiences, for the connection, for music, for the better future of performing arts.
Yeah. And if you're interested to know, we will definitely show you what we're capable of. And for first, I want to show you this upcoming season, which we're going to incorporate all this technology and much more. So enjoy this clip.
So we're going to skip forward right away and introduce our virtual concert halls productions. So this is what we devised while being in the lockdown and coming out of the lockdown and working with musicians and music organizations on how and what we can do to go forward and hybrid the in-person physical concerts and presentations with what the virtual studios and abilities to broadcast and stream on internet TV and all of that stuff, all those fancy terms, what they mean, what they bring, and how do we use them. As you can see on the screen, these are various types of the productions virtual concert halls developed, and today is kind of a quick introduction through the gallery of those, right, Chris?
Yeah, it's a way for us to show you what we're capable of, but also what we've done. All the things we mentioned are not things that we've just dreamed of doing. These are things that we actually have practiced, and we have a tech team, we have a crew, we have people on board to make sure these things happen. And it's incredible what we've managed to gather together.
Yeah, just look at what the screen is showing. We are streaming on all major platforms simultaneously. So if your preference is Facebook, vice versa, something else, and you like that better, okay, we're on Facebook. If you're on YouTube and you think that's the best platform in the world, well, we are on that platform as well. Right now, at this moment, you can see this program on all these platforms which are flashing on your screen.
Absolutely, and because of our capabilities, our partners have been really loyal and continuously joining us for different seasons that we have. I mean, I remember Coburn School was there right from the beginning, and we have just grown and grown. And so we want to thank our sponsors and organizers, of course, but these are people who have grown and they just fall in love with the things that we're able to do behind the scenes online, and they can trust our process, our broadcast tech crew to make sure everything goes out smoothly and wonderfully.
Absolutely. And I wish we had a clip showing the beginning when we had just very few partners who risked their reputation and well, not exactly physical lives, but close to. And it was scary and, of course, difficult, and lots of things go wrong. And we didn't know even what things could go wrong. So, over the years, working in this realm and incorporating a variety of tools and methods, we've gained trust of many, many wonderful organizations which work with us, and just like Chris said,
we're on our fourth year, and this is just amazing how we've accumulated experience on different platforms, but also using this platform to broadcast a lot of different shows that you'll see today: competitions, shows, concerts, films, and we have a lot for you to look forward to.
Yeah, and let's kind of go into some of those terms, because like we get a lot of questions, and some of them are, can you tell us what it is you do? And then we start throwing in terms which may mean nothing to people unfamiliar with this. So, for example, we do multicasts. What?
Yeah. What is a multicast?
Exactly. Let's maybe show a little bit of what the multicasts are like.
Well, first of all, it's amazing to hear that again. It's so cool what Mark and Julia was able to do together. That's really cool.
Yeah, incredible. And this is actually one of our early versions of the multicast. And I just want to reiterate, what you've seen on screen was not a pre-recorded and combined video, was the actual live performance with improvisation. Both pianists were improvising, Julia in classical format and Mark Berman in jazz format.
Right, and this sort of this is what we're trying to explain what multicast is, which is this idea where we can broadcast more than one person at the same time, and they can interact and play pretty much together. I think we still have this slight, very small latency thing, but what's amazing about what we're able to do is it's really seamless. It's really literally multicast, and everything kind of goes through streamlined. It's really cool.
Yeah. Absolutely, that's the idea. I mean, of course, you can compile a perfect video and then just show it, and that's a great way of presenting music, but it takes away the element of the improv and the element of presence in the moment, which is present in the concert hall. However, the concert hall requires everyone traveling to that location, which makes it difficult for some artists to be in multiple locations at the same time or in different countries. The expense goes up, and the effect on the climate change also goes up. All those traveling artists, we are all adding carbon to the to the environment. So when we're doing it this way, we can put together musicians from Australia and Japan and the United States and Europe all in one multicast production.
Yeah, especially when they haven't met before and they want to kind of elaborate on different ideas. And the next clip we're going to show you about judging and judges is a really great example of that, because you have these people who have probably never met before, but they're meeting for the first time in an environment where they can chat about the music. There's a spontaneity about the conversation they have, and you can talk over one another. We have this ability, like I can talk over Anna, she can talk over me, and you can both hear all the different conversations and all the audio things simultaneously. It's really amazing.
Yeah, we don't need to wait for Zoom to stop transmitting, and then by the time you have your turn to say something, you forgot what you wanted to say. So here we can have a more normal conversation, even though we are in the virtual studio. Chris and we're not together in the same space.
No, but so, she's not right there. Yeah, she's not.
No, and you're not right there.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. Multicast, of course, our concept of multicast has grown over the time, and now we are able to present dozens of, and sometimes hundreds of musicians in the continuous multicast program, where everyone being in different physical locations are present together in the broadcast studio. And all of that is on multiple platforms simultaneously, and we can we have enough bandwidth to include your websites, unlimited number, in fact. Okay.
So let's have a look at this, right? Shall we have a look at this example of this from the judges?
Bravo, bravo, bravo. You're getting ovation here. What a program to our judges now.
I think I'll start you out. Thank you so much, Sadie, for playing again. It was beautiful to hear you. I do want to say that the program was so exciting and beautiful to hear such extremely fluid playing and expressive playing. You really are using the flute like a tool of your expression. So congratulations for that. Not easy to do on such a high level. And I would say that all of the pieces that you played, I cannot imagine them more beautifully played. I would like to add in the Paganini that I do think that the highest notes of your flute playing, whether it is the proximity of the microphone or something that was a result of playing in this fashion, or if this is in your playing, a little bit more control on those high notes so that they aren't just spit out like that, so that they have a little bit more beauty, even though they're high and supposed to be a little bit more powerful. You can make them more rounded and lovely. But all in all, I thought your performance was excellent. Congratulations, and thank you for playing today.
Yeah,
and I wanted to point out, I'm sorry, Chris, you told me we can talk over each other, so I'm going to talk over you.
Do it.
So I want to point out that there's a row of small pictures on the side. And in those pictures, we have simultaneously present in that production people from the UK, from France, from United States, from other countries. So everyone on the small windows which you saw are really present in the program. There's the judges and of course the contestant in the big picture, just like me right now. So that's the multicast today.
I also want to add that whilst all of this is happening, it may seem like a recording from a Zoom chat or a sort of a meeting room that's recorded. This is not so. This is something that is live and it's public, so people are able to watch it at the same time that it is being recorded, at the same time that it's being shown. And so performers and musicians really feel like it is in the moment. It is spontaneous, and everything that they do and the judges' comments and everything, there's no fabrication to it.
Yeah, and there's another thing. You, our audience, are able to join our broadcast studio through your comments. And if you would please leave us a comment right now, we can show you how the comments can be pulled into this broadcast from all of these platforms. It doesn't matter where you are. Comment in there, and our directors can bring it up, and me and Chris, we can respond. So please ask us questions. Anything you want to make a question or a comment. We are in real time connected, not only with each other and with the artists who are in the broadcast, but also with our audience. And that's something people are not very used to, but it's a great potential, great advantage for the audience not to be just a passive receiver of music, but an active participant of it.
I really love that. And so as our competition and everything in virtual concert halls and our broadcasts have grown, we've come up with this thing called the hybrid model. Now, so what is the hybrid? Tell us about it, Dr. Anna.
Yes, sure. So the hybrid is grown out of the multicast. So you saw that musicians were pretty much performing in their homes and the spaces available to them. Now, post-pandemic, we have access back to the concert halls. Now, the concert halls have their own format, and of course, you go in there, you buy a ticket, you sit in a seat, and all of that. However, with the new capabilities and ultra low latency and all the technology developed and our production systems matching that, we are able to do a hybrid performance of not only people being in different concert halls at the same time, but as you can see on the screen right now, this is a picture of one of the early hybrid productions where the musicians from a different country, this young lady on the blue screen in the middle of the stage, those two people, they are thousands of miles away from this concert hall. This was one of the early hybrids we produced with the Maryland University at the Clarice Smith Performing Arts Center. This was the final of the Kanabi competition. And as you can see, it's still, the social distancing and everything. There's not a lot of people were allowed in the hall, but there were physically present performers on stage going up to those two pianos and performing in the hall, and those who couldn't travel, and they were, from really far apart, but they were still fabulous finalists in this competition. Their performances were projected on stage on this big drop-down screen in the back in real time.
Yeah.
So this is the hybrid of physical and virtual, and all of that together, if you can imagine, was broadcast on all those platforms, so people who wanted to watch from any country could in the real time.
What we do is hosts and script writers and a different part of our crew is that people who are watching online also feel like they're watching a show and not just a sort of a recording of different people and nothing in between. They feel like they're taken on a journey, just as if you were there in person and there's a host or an MC who's taking people through things. And another part of this hybrid model that we do is we're growing to include a lot of Carnegie Hall productions as well as behind the scenes productions and interviews with an amazing producer, Steve Robinson. And this is all part of the web that we weave together in what we produce here at Virtual Concert Halls.
Yeah, and this is all making more connections and new types of connections between artists, music, different countries, encompassing the entire globe. That our intro is always, we are connecting around the globe. And we're not just saying that. We are really on a mission to connect the entire artistic, musical globe in those productions. So let's maybe see in a clip from another production that was recorded by an amateur member of the audience from inside the concert hall. It was a prominent pianist competition in New York State, which we produced the hybrid broadcast in there. The quality of that recording, with the phone is not all that great, but you can see what it looks like if you were inside that concert hall. Let's see that.
Nice.
Welcome to the Prominent Pianists Festival Honors Recital. I'm James Welch from Progressive Musicians, and we have Lily Lee here from New York State Music Teachers Association, and welcome to all of you to this very first hybrid event. Yeah.
So in there you could see that there were a lot of people in that hall already. So that's a more recent production. And you can see that people in the hall had a combined hybrid experience of in-person performers and then on this huge screen performers from all over the world. They had people from Japan, from Australia, from Europe, from Canada. It was a really international event. And it was in real time live. Like for someone in Australia at that time of the concert, it was like 7 a.m. there. This was an afternoon in New York. So
I want to emphasize also that as somebody who was part of the San Espressivo competition, it really is more important and integral to be just part of it, and I just emphasize for anyone who's watching to just experience it, and you'll see exactly what we mean. Like everything we show you right now feels like it's a recording or something that's maybe fabricated by us. Once you really experience it, you realize what we're capable of, pre-production, during the production, and also post-production, and it's an incredible thing that we're able to do.
Yep, absolutely. And these are, of course, cut clips from the previous productions, but they're not doctored. They're not mastered, remastered. We show them as is. So it is truly a representation of the actual experience people had, both as performers and the audience members. Let's see also a picture of one of the very early, this is the picture of the hybrid program. I believe that was our very first hybrid program at Colburn School, and you can see the stage and the physical performers who were at the time in LA. They were performing on that piano there, but this girl was brought in from Vietnam. She was performing in Vietnam, and what you see in the picture is a live, the projection of her live performance in real time.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and it's almost like watching a movie, except that this is not pre-recorded movie. This is the actual performance which is happening.
No editing. It's all mistakes and all. We do it. And what I also want to highlight is that the sound quality that we're able to capture before Zoom was able to do original sound for musicians. And what we can do is capture exactly what is put into your microphone and your setup and everything. And so everyone ends up sounding a bit different, and everyone ends up sounding, depending on the setup they have, with all the nuances that they want to do musically.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, this is all developing. And, now that we're working with the professional concert spaces, we are able to bring in much better quality sound than somebody's just built-in microphone. And of course, the technology is getting better, and it gets cheaper. Now you can get it all in much better quality and much more mobile and much less expensive. So
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What else can we do? What else does virtual concert halls do? What else do we do?
We want to show one more clip. Or are we out of clips from a Kanabi competition? Let's show another clip of the hybrid, and then we'll move on to the next.
Sounds good.
imagine being in the concert hall and seeing this phenomenal performance straight from China on a big screen on stage. Just imagine how it feels and looks and what kind of impact you'll have as an audience member. And then flip it over and imagine being that artist. This girl her performance was brought on stage at the Kanabe competition straight from China. For her to travel to Washington, D.C. area, getting visas, all of that stuff, probably next to impossible. And she was there, present, on stage, with people being able to enjoy her phenomenal performance in real time. So that's
amazing.
That's the power of the hybrids. That's what we're working on. But Chris, you wanted to move on to the next. It's no less exciting, I promise.
I did, yeah, because I do want to see what else we have to offer. Please, pray tell.
Don't pretend you don't know. But okay, so the next is music films. Our virtual concert halls team had immersed itself in production of the new type of music films, and it's probably better show than just talk about it. Let's see the first clip and then comment.
Okay.
It is terse. It is compact. Its dynamic energy is concentrated into a mere 9.5 minutes of music, the shortest opening movement of Beethoven's 9 symphonies. And it's all the more stunning because of the bold, unprecedented way in which it begins. Known to practically every living being on Earth. It's that powerful.
Wow. Yes, it's that powerful. What wonderful words. Now, this is a commentary and the whole outline of those films. We're working on a complete collection of Beethoven symphonies, all 9. So the outline of that script is created by absolutely astounding Larry Rabchak, who worked for many years as a pre-concert commentator for the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. Now, to hear his absolutely captivating commentary about something like Beethoven, you would have to go to Chicago, right? If you're in Paris, then you understand that's quite challenging, right? So with the creation of these films, we are able to, again, hybrid what Larry could only bring to a limited number of people physically in the concert hall and make it available and accessible to everyone around. So that's the music film line of productions, and stay tuned with us because we will be announcing a whole series of live broadcasts showing those films, and it's going to be a whole season. We'll announce the season, then please like us.
It's so exciting.
Yeah, make sure you like us, make sure you sign up to get the notification, not to be missed. Those are absolutely astounding productions. Let's see another clip.
And certainly the 5th contains the same sort of revolutionary musical outlook and language as the Eroica. And the 5th Symphony's main key of C minor definitely evoked powerful creative impulses from the composer, as we saw in the 2nd movement Funeral March of the Eroica. But I don't know that there's much point in doing any more detective work here. It's all been done by others. Beethoven's iconic opening motive, the group of 4 unison notes, is not something that he necessarily invented for this symphony. Beethoven used this same basic motive for the 1st movement of his great 4th piano concerto, which also appears in the same sketchbooks with the 5th symphony, the same 4-note pattern. I'm sounding much different, yes? Mozart used the same motive 20 years earlier in the 1st movement of his equally great C major piano concerto, number 25.
Wow.
The voice of Larry Rabchak is
phenomenal. Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal. And anyone who ever heard his commentary live in the hall of the Chicago Symphony Orchestra will never forget. And so now you have access to that treasure through generous help of donors and sponsors of the Architects of Music. These productions were we were able to make happen. Let's see one more clip.
And if you slow the music way down, there's your appoggiatura that suspends. Another one. and another one as it ascends. Another. But instead, Beethoven uses this sequence to drive the music ahead into the first thunderous passage of the work, straight C minor.
Wow.
So these are a little...
I'm learning a lot there. Yeah, I really love the way he talks about it. That's beautiful.
Yeah, and the way he talks about it could be perceived as technical, but it's so connected with the actual music. And
Oh no, it reminds me of Bernstein and how he talks about music and everything. I love that. It's really, really amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing, and our team really was able to put together the visual representation of it in absolutely astounding way. There's one more sample of more to come in the same series. Let's see a little preview of more programs we're working on. This one is about Gershwin and Ravel. Who knew they had a connection?
Paris and New York were the two most exciting art centers in the world during the 1920s and 30s. The astonishing array of musicians, artists, writers, poets, actors, dancers, impresarios who lived and worked in these cities during that time will never be seen again. So this episode will be something of a montage, a melange, an excursion into the wild and crazy people, places, and things which defined this legendary era. And we'll focus on a pair of composers whose music embodies the spirit of the times. Two great composers, Maurice Ravel and George Gershwin, and two great cities, New York and Paris. 1928 was the big year when Maurice Ravel spent the first 4 months touring America as celebrated composer, pianist, conductor, and speaker. And he met George Gershwin in New York. 1928 was also the year that Gershwin was in Paris for 8 weeks, during which time he composed most of, what else? An American in Paris. And there's a famous photo of Gershwin with the 4 taxi horns that he specifically chose for the bustling opening of this work. And here's what they actually sounded like. The very first recording of An American in Paris in New York in 1929 with Gershwin's special quartet of taxi horns. The conductor was Nathaniel Shilkret, and Gershwin himself played the brief celeste solo in the middle of the piece. Anyway, Gershwin and Ravel crisscrossed in their travels to each other's cities in 1928. Ravel in America, Gershwin in Paris. In the early 20s, George Gershwin was a very successful Broadway composer, but the event that really put him on the map was the 1924 premiere of his Rhapsody in Blue, which was the main work on a grandiose concert entitled Experiment in Modern Music, the brainchild of the famous jazz orchestra leader Paul Whiteman. Whiteman was a very enterprising guy, and he was right at the center of the fun and excitement of the Roaring Twenties. Here now is a typically goofy novelty tune of the day, of which there were hundreds, written in 1925, recorded that year by Whiteman's orchestra. So you will hear Paul Whiteman's actual sound of his orchestra at this time. I will supply the vocals. The immortal tune, My Swiss Miss Misses Me. He was a mountain climber, and oh, how the boy could climb. In cold July, he climbed so high, believe me, I don't lie. He almost touched the sky, and here's the reason why. She was a shepherd's daughter who lived on the highest peak, where he'd chase her and she'd chase him while playing hide and seek. And it ends with, I miss, my Swiss miss misses me. Hey! Well, that's enough of that. But that's the kind of silliness that was so popular during the 1920s, and that was Paul Whiteman's band. So, Gershwin wrote his Rhapsody very quickly. Whiteman wanted to capitalize on the 20s jazz-era craze by synthesizing jazz into some sort of symphonic idiom. And despite its youthful liabilities as a serious work, the dynamic personality of George Gershwin comes charging through, brash, breezy, filled with great tunes, combined with that confident New York swagger that really caught the spirit of the times. The Rhapsody was written in a two-piano version and quickly orchestrated by Whiteman's arranger, Ferdi Grofé, the man who 7 years later, in 1931, would go on to write this. Incidentally, when Ravel was in New York, he sat in on a recording session of Paul Whiteman's orchestra. Then, on his way to California, Ravel stopped off to visit the very same Grand Canyon, which left him awestruck. This term blue, Rhapsody in Blue, refers to the musical genre known as the blues, but also to certain melodic and harmonic features of the idiom, blue harmonies or blue notes. For instance, in the opening of the Rhapsody in Blue, we have this. Here's blue notes. Here's another one. Here's another one. And one more blue note. Okay, the blue notes, they're lowered, they're flatted by 1/2 step. Here is the same passage without the blue notes. Had enough? Non-blue note. Yes, blue note. Makes a big difference, yes? And that famous theme, the one that returns as the big strutting march near the end of the Rhapsody, it is loaded with flatted blue notes. There's a blue note. Here's another blue note. Here's another one. Here's another one. Here now is a lovely tune from 1926 that I always thought was written by George Gershwin, but it wasn't. If there is a Cinderella looking for a steady fella, listen to my serenade in blue. Here's a big blue note. More blue notes here. This is called Blues Serenade. It was a very popular song written by Frank Signorelli. And you heard all of those lovely blue harmonies. Lovely tune. But Gershwin, despite the brash and confident, but still very good-natured way in which he viewed himself and his music, he still worked diligently to improve his craft, which included studying the major composers of the day. And you can definitely hear the influence of Debussy, for instance, in these harmonies early on in the Rhapsody. Anyway, the premiere of Rhapsody in Blue in February 1924 was Gershwin's big breakout event, wildly successful, after which his fame and box office potential skyrocketed. So, in early 1928, when Ravel was in America, Gershwin, in his quest to improve the technical aspects of his composing, asked Ravel to accept him as a student. But Ravel, recognizing Gershwin's unique talent, declined, essentially asking why Gershwin would want to be a second-rate Ravel instead of a first-rate Gershwin, which he was. But they still hung out together, and George took his Parisian pal to several nightclubs, including the Savoy and the Cotton Club in Harlem, where Ravel was mightily impressed and thrilled by his first-hand contact with authentic American jazz.
Well, there you have it. I mean, that's incredible. That's really amazing and fascinating.
Yeah, so these are fascinating stories told by the absolutely amazing storyteller Larry Rabchak. And
Right.
don't I want to tell our audiences, whoever is watching now, please don't miss the opportunity to see them in the completion. We're announcing the season where we're going to be playing each film one after another, and it's all going to be scheduled, and you will see it on our platforms everywhere, announcements. So we are running out of time like crazy, so we're going to have to just show one more format which we've developed over this time, and now incorporating physical concerts because it's just so unique and so so important for people to know that this opportunity is out there, and when they participate in our programs, they are part of that movement, and they can be part of those hybrid programs. These are live concerts with a live commentary happening at the same time as the concert is happening. So we'll show that clip, and then we'll have to announce the part 2.
Okay.
Yeah. You need some rest so you're fresh for your concert tomorrow.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Wonderful. See you. Bye-bye for now.
Bye. Thank you.
Playing. And we have one final performer, and she is a 16-year-old cellist from Israel. She is here from Israel. She came in just for this performance, and she is, where did her name go here? She is Nahar Elias. And she is already a distinguished artist. She's distinguished herself by winning the first prize and the exceptional artist at the 2019 Vienna Grand Prize Virtuoso competition. Now, how old was she in 2019? Oh my goodness.
That's 4 years
She won
ago.
the Golden
12.
Classical Music Awards in New York in 2020. She's won more prizes that we can mention. She's performed at Lincoln Center, Carnegie Hall, Jordan Hall in Boston, the Music of Orion. Oh my goodness, what a career. And she's playing on a Gagliano violin from cello from 1760. She's an exceptional musician. I hope everybody watching now has heard the interview with her, because she's just a very unusual and very brilliant and very insightful and
Yeah, her
musician.
personality is really nice and sparkling, and here she is coming out on stage.
And she's with Glenn Cortese, who will conduct the Western New York Chamber Orchestra. And we're coming to you live from the SUNY campus at Fredonia, New York. And here is Nahar Elias with Glenn Cortese in music of Camille Saint-Saëns, the complete cello concerto.
You're listening to Nahar Elias playing the beautiful Saint-Saëns concerto with Glenn Cortez as the conductor. Just a wonderful performance, and I love the way that we're integrating live performances with online hosts, so people who are watching online can feel like they're part of a show, but also people who are in person in this hybrid model we have are able to enjoy a normal concert as though nothing's happened, and they don't feel as though there's this hybrid thing going on, and it just seems to be more seamless. Everything seems really wonderful. Now,
yeah, if you're old enough, like myself, to remember the live from the Met, so this is what we based our concept on. Except that live from the Met was not really always live; it was pre-recorded and then combined together. We are now taking it to the post-pandemic realm and doing it all in real time.
Yeah, it's amazing. And to summarize, so we kind of talked to you a little bit about what we did with multicast and having different people play together or one after the other, and this spontaneous online sort of live experience. We talked to you about the hybrid model where we're integrating in-person venues and concerts with online live judging, online live performances, and that interaction we can have online as well as in person. We also show you music films that we've able to produce and put together, and we're going to show you that, and maybe we even comment on it and decide what we feel about this kind of music, which is just incredible and discussed so eloquently. And we just show you some live concert with commentary by Steve Robinson, producers. I want to announce also what we have for part 2, which is just as fascinating, and I want you to all be a part of this, because we'll show you some multimedia samples about what we do as part of the crew, a part of the tech production side of things. And we're going to show you banners and trailers, silent videos that go right on top of us as we're talking. We talk about what it takes to prepare the show and how our tech directors prepare our microphones and everything so that you can sound your best, and then as you're playing you can just relax and know that your sound, your music, your nuances and your voice is being shown all over the world, and there isn't anything to hinder that. And with that, I want to talk to you a little bit more about our upcoming season, right?
Yes.
So we have a really, really exciting season coming up ahead. We have deadlines, one of which is October 1st. Right? This is an amazing opportunity to perform in Carnegie Hall with or without orchestra, your choice, and you can be as a composer, submit scores as well, so you can be a part of all of this exciting season and our exciting show. Oh, I'm really, really excited about this. And with that, we also want to show you a brief clip, a little reel that we've made to promote our coming season, and this will just show you very quickly what we have in store. Hey, check this out. I know you have always dreamed of performing in Carnegie Hall, so I think this 2023 to 2024 season at Sound Espressivo will be perfect for you. As a platform, we host live online auditions so you can share your music with the entire world. Then we send you to incredible in-person venues like Carnegie Hall so you can perform solo, as a duo, as an ensemble, and with orchestra. This year we have a total of 4 gala events at Carnegie Hall, as well as 4 different opportunities to perform with orchestras in the US, in the Czech Republic, and even in Egypt. We want to help you fulfill your musical dreams. Go to soundespressivocompetition.com to check out our season and to apply. Hey. There you go.
Yes, there you go.
An amazing season ahead.
The whole season is planned out. We have all the events, dates of auditions, dates of all the productions, concerts, rehearsals, with different orchestras in different countries. It's a lot of information, but the good side of it is now you know when everything happens. It's not like all of a sudden something pops up. No, everything is already on the website, on the soundespressivo.com website and on progressivemusicians.com website and on many other websites. Don't miss out and spend a few minutes to actually learn what's happening so you can also plan. We planned the entire season for you. Now make the most use of your recordings, your preparations, whatever you're doing, and merge those two and take us up on those opportunities.
You've got it. You can't miss it this season. It's going to be incredible. And I want to thank our sponsors, people who have been integral in giving us these opportunities to showcase you. It's not really about us, it's about you being able to perform, and we have amazing organizations which you're seeing on the screen who are supporting us and giving you as performers, musicians, composers, vocalists, anyone out there. And it doesn't have to even be classical music. It could be jazz music, world music, musical theater. Everyone is given an opportunity to perform, to express themselves, and to be a part of this upcoming 2023 to 2024 season. And wow, this is incredible.
Yeah. Thank you, our supporters and sponsors, and thank you for providing incredible prizes on top of everything, on top of all the performance opportunities. And now I want to thank our team, absolutely incredible magicians.
Yeah, these people who put these amazing shows together are behind the scenes. They don't get enough credit, so we want to thank them for putting all of this together. We have hosts, scriptwriters, directors, producers, all making sure that we and everyone who's involved with us sound the best that they can.
Absolutely. And now we want to thank you, our audience, and you, the artists, who take the risk and make the incredibly courageous leap of faith to step on the virtual stage and on the hybrid stage as well.
Yeah, bravo. And we'll look forward to seeing you next time. If you want to support us, check our website out, soundespressivocompetition.com. And we look forward to seeing you next time. We have shows on at 12 noon every single day. So we hope you join us and to see what we have in store this season.
Yeah, get involved with us. Send us a message.
All right.
Bye for now.
See you all.
No matter where you are or who you are, music connects us all. We started with a dream, but now we are paving the future. Welcome to the Sound Espressivo Global Competition. Fully virtual, yet bringing musicians closer together than ever before, now on a global scale. True live, inclusivity, diversity, connection, community, an extraordinary array of judges. Get noticed by companies all over the world. Prizes, scholarships, performance opportunities. Apply to be a part of the most exciting congregation of artists like nothing you've ever seen before. We guarantee quality and leave no musician behind. We can't wait to hear you on the virtual stage.